I am pleased to welcome our opening keynote from Congressman Earl Blumenauer. Congressman Blumenauer has devoted his career to public service, from a county commissioner and city council member in Portland, Oregon, to his 25-year tenure in the U.S. House of Representatives. As a senior member of the House Ways and Means Committee, he has been central to the debates on how the federal government can be an effective partner in building a clean energy economy, including as a co-sponsor of the Energy Storage Tax Incentive and Deployment Act of 2019 and a driving force behind last year's Green Act, which I understand may soon be reintroduced for this Congress. So without further ado, Congressman Blumenauer.
Thank you very much, Jason, for setting the tone and sort of the evangelical tone that you took. And I think it's really important to do that because you are focusing on one of the key elements we need to meet our climate objectives. And if anything, you may have understated it. I strongly agree with what you said. And what I'd like to do is just take a little bit of context in terms of why it's so important. This is, I think, one of the most, if not the most critical time in a narrowly divided caucus with a new Congress, with a new administration. This is going to be pivotal for clean energy policy in our history. We've seen the global events, a preview of what's coming attractions in Australia, wildfires in the West, challenges to the grid. We're seeing evidence every day about climate change, global warming, and in fact, we're slowly making progress, but it's nowhere what we need. The policies of the last 4 years have put us behind our 2030 targets, which themselves are, I would say, modest, to limit the rate of warming to under 1.5 degrees Celsius. We've got a steep climb ahead of us and need to make up for lost time. But I'm confident with this Congress and the Biden administration will get the needed support to right the ship. Last Congress provided us with an opportunity to set the table for the work this year. I was pleased to have been part of it in the summer of 2019 with a colloquy between Chairman Neal and myself expressing his desire to move forward with our clean energy tax bill. The Ways and Means Committee made significant advancement, producing the most aggressive expansion in clean energy tax policy in a decade in the Green Act. I was especially proud to work with my colleagues to include a new investment tax credit for energy storage technology based on the legislation I introduced with Mike Doyle. Jason set the stage in terms of energy storage. There are so many areas to explore with batteries, thermal, mechanical storage, hydrogen. Pumped hydro power is a big deal in the Northwest. It goes hand in hand with our efforts to decarbonize the grid and integrate renewable energy generations. Without storage, we're going to be fighting climate change with one hand tied behind our back. There's no way to adequately scale up renewable energy without a simultaneous commitment to energy storage. And as has been pointed out, the benefits of storage aren't just in electric generation. Storage also provides that critical resilience. And again, Jason said it right. They're going to face power outages or natural disasters, becoming even more common due to the climate crisis. Energy storage enables us to transition to a smarter electric grid that can self-regulate peak demand and volatility, lowering overall strain on our grid, which is going to be more and more important in the foreseeable future. More important, this year is the year to finally stop talking about the benefits of these policies and actually enact them. Congress is currently crafting another COVID rescue package, a sorely needed investment in vaccine distribution and administration, as well as financial relief for working families, unemployed individuals, and small business. After providing resources for dealing with those immediate challenges today, I am working aggressively to immediately begin work on the next package, an initiative to build back better and build back cleaner. President Biden rightly characterizes the promise of clean energy investments as an investment in good paying jobs, and it should be. We have an opportunity to bring back hundreds of thousands of clean energy jobs lost during the pandemic, as well as create hundreds of thousands of new jobs through long-term investments. In addition to the investment tax credit for energy storage technology, which I strongly support, I'm laser focused on allowing projects to receive credits in the form of direct payment. We had terrific success with the Section 1603 grant program and the American Recovery Act, something that as Vice President, Joe Biden was intimately involved with and helped implement. We need to dust that off and ramp it up. I'm also working with Chairman Neal to build off the work being done in the Green Act to secure long-term extensions for renewable energy credits, as well as technologies, investments in clean energy transportation technology. Done right, 2021 could be a remarkable year for clean energy investments, but none of us can afford to stop working. The table is set, but obviously there are barriers that lie ahead, making our shared work all the more important to combat the climate crisis. I am excited about the work you're doing with energy storage. This is sort of a secret weapon in terms of meeting our goals. Oh, it's not so secret because you've seen a pretty significant increase year over year growth in terms of megawatts deployed. But clearly, this is not enough, and you have a too limited effort in terms of how you can apply that federal benefit. We want to expand it with a permanent tax credit for energy storage. We'll look forward to working with you in terms of refining the legislation itself. But more important, I think in the short term, it is important to be the evangelist like you had with Jason a few moments ago. Incorporate that urgency, that vision, that language in something that is broadly understood and embraced. That's a critical part of our meeting our clean energy future. I look forward to being your partner on the Ways and Means Committee and maybe doing a little bit of that evangelical work myself. Thank you for letting me be a part of this. Thank you for your partnership and working with me on the investment tax credit for energy storage. And I look forward to some progress in the weeks ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Congressman. We really appreciate you joining us today. And we're really excited for your leadership on all these issues we've discussed. So we're rooting for you and want to make sure that you have certainly the support you need from our industry.
And I with you. And in as much as we're living our lives on Zoom meetings, I think we can be strategic later this winter and spring about how we work together to spread the word. This is a good start for me. I appreciate it and look forward to the next steps.
Absolutely. Thank you again so much for joining us.
You bet.